Hello everybody, this is Kaizen here, and welcome back to another episode here on our YLands Let's Play series. Now today you'll see I'm starting off in my boat, and that's because we are heading for Lands Anew, and that island right over there in the distance, I hope you can see that on camera. It's a bit misty, it's a bit far away, but we have never been there before. If I open up my map real quick, you'll see we're heading into uncharted territory here. Now the reason for that is because today is all about food for me. I like to get myself set up in the game early on to progress through, and I think getting a good solid food source would be a great way of doing that. Now seeing as I've already explored the other two islands that were kind of closer and I know what's on them, there was not that much in terms of like food for sustainable sources of food, and I'm looking at something that's going to be a bit more involved, maybe like bread or something like that, maybe some grains. So we're going to go over here, we're going to see what's there. I also just kind of want to explore anyway because it is a fun part of the game, get to find loads of new stuff and that sort of thing. So you guys can come back when I get to that island. I won't make you sit through this entire voyage, and let's see what we can find over there. So guys, here we are. We just arrived at the other island, and I gotta say I'm not holding out too much hope for this place. It looks quite barren, doesn't it? So we might need to just kind of head somewhere else. There's another island over there that looks a little bit less cold and miserable, so I might just kind of head straight there actually, because this one, it is looking a little bit bleak, isn't it? I don't think we're going to find what we're looking for here. Where did my boat go? There it is. So yeah, let's go over there and see if we can find something a little bit more interesting. So guys, you can see my boat is going off there in the distance, and it ain't coming back. This was actually a bug that I saw in the community, and I just kind of not so much forgot about it, but didn't really realize it was going to be like a problem like this. There it goes. Goodbye, Kaizen Ship 1. Now this island is one we actually explored before, and it's the second island we ever went to. Now we're here at night, and this is just generally bad news all around because now we are boatless as well. So yeah, now is that boat stopped there? Or I can't tell if it's getting further away or not. Either way, it's going to take like a long time to get there. So I'm in two minds. I don't particularly want to die, but I'm not sure how else I'm going to get back. Yeah, let me figure this out a sec. I just thought I'd mention that bug, so you guys want to be careful when you're out on a boat. I got up to eat basically while I was on the boat, and then that happened. So you want to either be very close to an island with the boat pointed at an island when you're doing that, or really just don't do it if you can avoid it. So yeah, let me figure out a little plan of action here, and then we'll come back in and see what we're going to do. So I just want to stay alive and try to get off this island. Now, something I didn't realize that somebody told me on the community on YLands.com is basically you don't need to make a boat to sail. You can actually just make a raft. So if we have a little search right here of a raft, you'll see these are the materials required. So I did actually go ahead and make one of those. Oh, and I keep forgetting, it is left click to place, Kaizen. Alright, come on. Alright, so let's make one of those up, put it in there. And yeah, I think we can just go get on this raft. There we go. And we can head home this way. Now, yes, it will take a bit longer than the boat, I'm sure. But having said that, at least it's safe, and it's probably faster than swimming. So let's see where we need to go. So we're heading in that direction. We need to come kind of down this way, get ourselves home, and then have another look at the food situation at that point. Okay guys, so I got back to my home island. I'm just picking some bananas here because I was just looking in the forum, and I got a bit of a tip that I think could be quite useful for food going forwards. So basically we've got our bananas here. If we select them and then we hit the eye icon, here we go, we can break them down. Not enough inventory space. Okay, let's close that down a second. We'll just drop some grass seeds because they're not too difficult to get. And let's try that again. So here we go, open them up in the eye icon, break them down. Yeah, here we go. So then we get banana tree seeds. So I want to do that with literally all of them. And then where did they go? Banana tree seeds. Now we've got loads of these. So what we can do is we can just go around and plant. Oh, we have to hold it down. There we go. Hold down left click. Ah, here we go. So now we can plant loads of banana seeds on our icon. So that's pretty useful, and I can plant loads of banana seeds, and we can certainly make sure that we've got food. Bananas probably aren't the best source of food. We probably want something that's going to sustain us a bit more, and that's why, having done a little bit of research online, I was looking at getting into bread, because apparently that's quite a good early game resource to get into. But certainly as an interim period, bananas could be useful. Alright guys, so to make a new boat, I've got to have a few things done. So I've gone ahead and made myself up a weaving loom, so we've got that placed on our island now. And I've had to replant some flax seeds because we're going to need some of that to make the materials we need. But in the meantime, I was thinking in terms of food, one thing we could look at is fishing. So let's have a look here for a fishing rod. I had a look at this. We can craft this one up pretty easily, not too bad at all. We can also make a fishing hat, which I think is quite important if you're going fishing, guys. You shouldn't be fishing without a proper attire. So let's get our fishing hat on. There we go. And now I think it's sort of like a guarantee that you'll catch more fish. Alright, looks like we're ready. So let's head down to the ocean here. And I have no idea how to do this, and I'm hungry. So hopefully this is quite a quick process, but we shall see. So let's see. If we stand here, and what do we do? Yes, you just hold down left click. And there we go. We're fishing. Yeah. Okay. And then, oh, no luck this time. Okay. No guarantees. So, I don't know what the hit rate is for fish, but we are not doing so good at the moment, are we? We might die of starvation before we catch enough fish to prevent that from happening. Oh, there's a fish. All right. So, I guess we can just eat this raw, probably, right? So, let's see. Yeah, we can eat the fish. And yeah, we're still hungry. So, at least we have an option. And while I'm waiting for these flax seeds to grow, I might get a load of fish and dumb. Well, there's another one. There we go. It's not too bad at all. And yeah, at least that's like a bit of food for the future there. Alrighty, so we got ourselves some pretty good fish there. We got a few of them going on, 6 at the moment. Now, one thing I was thinking is I haven't really tried cooking food yet, so maybe we could have a look at that in this episode, seeing as we are looking at just, you know, food in general. So we want like a campfire for this. So yeah, we should make ourselves a campfire. That one will do. Let's just place it down right here. And then we can grab ourselves our flint lighter. There we go. And let's see, we can light the campfire. Okay, now, can I just walk up and cook this? Interact with. Yeah, okay, so we can make some roasted fish. So let's craft up a load of these. Okay, very good. And, okay, again, there's a little pending time for them, but then we'll have cooked fish instead. Now, we're hungry right now, so this is a good time to be doing this. So let's wait for them to cook and then see what we're left with. Okay, so these should just about be done. Yeah, there we go, a few more seconds. So once they are, we'll take all of these. And let's go ahead and eat one straight away. A nice cooked fish. And that's restored our hunger. And it'd be interesting to see how long that stays restored for. But cooking fish, I think that could actually be a pretty good way of getting food going. But I want to build like a passive way of doing it. So with crops, things like, you know, corn, and as I mentioned before, like getting flour and making bread and that sort of thing. So we're going to keep like working towards that in this episode. I've got a load of flax seeds planted. Basically, each time they grow, I'm just turning them back into seeds and planting more so I can get a good load of these going. But once we've got this farmed up, then we can make that boat, head over and try and find some grains and look to get, like I say, a more sort of sustainable, permanent food source going using bread. So just basically waiting for stuff to grow. Might do a bit of fishing and other stuff in the meantime, and we'll come back once we're ready to sail across. So guys, as I was doing the recording for this episode, I actually got a fantastic comment left to me on my previous video, left by a guy called, I think it's Khan, something like that. Apologies if I'm getting that incorrectly. But the tip was that we can actually use cotton here to make cloth. We don't actually have to use flax seeds. I'm not sure why I thought we did. For some reason I just had it in my head that that was the case. So I think what we can do here, yeah, there we go. So we can make yarn up just using the cotton. So let's craft up as much of that as we can. Now this is a really useful tip for all of you because it means that you won't have to go to another island before you can make a boat, because that's all we are missing. Apparently you should start with materials on your island that will allow you to make this cloth right from day one. So basically we're just about done, because if I show you now, if we're looking to make up a boat, we have just about everything in place apart from the cloth, which I'm going to make right here. So what I'm going to do is get my boat together and head for another island, and then see if we can find something a bit different and more exciting in terms of food for the future. Alrighty guys, so I got to the other island. If I press M, you'll see here with island number 2. So what we're doing at the moment, we're picking loads of things that we're going to need, including a load of buckwheat, which is, there it is, this stuff right here. And we see here on the used in, we can make flour out of that, so that's pretty good. We're going to be able to use that to make bread eventually. So I'm going to gather a load of that and some other stuff as well while I'm on this island, just getting a load of resources together. Things like flax as well, I'm getting a load of that. Once we have that, I'm going to head back to our home island, and then we can start looking at the process involved to turn this buckwheat into bread. Okay guys, so here we are. We're back safely on our home island, and we've got plenty of resources on us. So I need to grab myself this thing, the stone mortar. And also, let me think, where did I put the charcoal? I believe that is in up here, maybe? No, maybe the next one. Yeah, there we go. So I think we're going to need that for a bit of fuel for some cooking. Okay, so let's have a little think about what we want to do here. Oh, campfire remains. So if we feed that. Oh, we can. Yeah, we can ignite that. Okay, cool. Because I think we might need this in a minute to cook our bread once we've got the flour. So if we go to crafting here and we go to bread. Here we go. So to make bread, you first need to make bread dough. And to make that, you need flour. And to make flour, you can see here, you just need the grain in the mortar. But I believe... I thought there was a way we could use... let me just have a little search for flour here. The buckwheat stuff. Yeah, we can make this flour. So let's... Oh, we can make that with corn. And that's with buckwheat. Let's try the buckwheat one first. And let's craft up... I don't know exactly how many. Maybe that many for now, just to get us started. So, yeah, there we go. We've got some flour going on. Okay, very good. Now we can make bread dough out of that. Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll craft all of that into bread dough. So, yeah, we've got some bread dough. Cool. All right, so now what I think we need to do is, can we cook this on the campfire? Let's see. We can eat the bread dough. There we go, bread. Okay, so we want to craft up all of this, or at least as much as we can right now. So this will all pend. There we go, it takes a minute per one. So that is how we're going to make bread. And certainly we have plenty of buckwheat here to be getting on with, so we could, you know, have enough bread to last us a long time. However, I think what we want to do is set up a little bit of a farm. So, I mean, technically you could just, you know, chuck stuff down and plant it, that's fine, but I'm going to try and do something a little bit different to that. I want to see what type of wall or things we can craft here. Maybe add a stone for the farm. So the sandstone, okay. Okay, this is the sort of stone I'm thinking of, this sort of thing. But I wonder how difficult it's going to be to make it. I do have a chisel already, and we're going to have plenty of stone chunks and things. So maybe this isn't going to be too bad. You know what, guys? I'm going to go find some building materials I want to use and maybe play around with a few designs, and then we'll come back and build the actual farm area together. So for our stone fence, we're going to need some stone chunks. So basically, it looks like you can find them in the world, or you can also get them through just mining a mountain like I'm doing right now. So we're going to pick up a load of these. You can see here we've got like 24 on us already. And what we're going to look to make out of them is some stone fence structures. So what I found was like this one here, for example. That looks pretty cool. There we go. So we can use that and then some sort of stone wall in between to sort of connect them up, I think. And I'll do like little entrance ways and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I think it's going to look pretty good once it's done. But for now, I'm going to need to just keep grinding, getting a load of these resources. So I'm going to do that until we're ready to start the build. And then the next thing we'll do together will be the actual building of our farm area. So what I'm looking at doing, guys, this is all buckwheat seeds here that have been planted. And I want to make like little quadrants here in the farm. You see for the fence, I just used the stone fence stuff and made the end bits a bit higher with the inside bits a bit lower. And I think we can still jump over that, which is kind of useful. But yeah, it's just like to make a little boundary. Obviously, I say it's not really necessary, but I just think it looks kind of a little bit better. So all I'm really doing is sort of lining this up, going into alternate mode, which you can do, alternate mode, I should say, which you can do by right-clicking. Then you can hit J to lower it, so I can lower it down, and that looks like it's about the same height as the others, doesn't it? Yeah, that's good. And then just kind of repeating that, so we just go down here like this, and you can then kind of get it where you get them in a line. There we go, so we can start building them off. There you go, just left-clicking like that. They go off in a line here until we get to the end. So there we go, it finds its little place, and there we go. So that's kind of like happy like that. So that's like one quadrant, I guess, you know, if you want to look at it that way. What I'm going to do is build like another one like here, and then two more in this direction over here, like this. We may have to move some of this stuff. But then we'll have like a little area here of farming for the buckwheat, which of course is going to give us the flour. So I'm going to go and make the rest of them. I just wanted to quickly show you on camera how I was doing them. And then we'll see what that's looking like at the end and go from there. So guys, our farm currently looks like this. And I have to say, I don't hate it. I don't think it's too bad at all. I certainly have a lot to learn about building on this game. But, you know, that's all part of the fun, all part of the challenge. And I think it's looking okay right now. So what we want to do now is, figured what I would do is flatten these little areas that are kind of the walkway areas here. So I've got my shovel out to do that with. And what I want to do then is put some sort of walkway on them. Now, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to, do this just yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out at least. And, flattening them does make a bit of a mess around here, so I need to figure out how this is all going to look. But let me just get the sort of general idea down and see what we can use for path. But I'm thinking some sort of like wooden pathway might be cool. Just make it look a little bit more like farmy, where you got the crops in their area and then like a little bit of a walkway in between them. Okay, so I've got a bit of an idea in mind, guys. I need to go grab my tools. I just need a saw here. Here we go. And what I think we'll do is if we go into crafting, let's just search here for wood. Here we go. We're going to use a bit of a wooden path, I think. Like these wooden blocks here, I think could be cool. So let's just craft one for now and then see how that's actually looking when we place it in situ. So I guess what we do is we'll just start from this end here. We can place this down on the floor. Now, do I want to sink this down a bit? I guess not. I guess it's going to be too sunk down. So maybe the walkways can be kind of raised compared to the farm. In terms of the color and everything, I think that's going to look okay. Yeah, I think that's all right. So then we'll have like these walkways going through the middle and then the farm. All right, so in that case, if we like the look of that, let's get ourselves a load more. Oh, shoot, which ones was it? I find it hard to remember because what's the difference between that and that? This one to me looks nicer. So I'm just going to craft up loads of them, and if it's not, then I'll swap the other one out for it. Let's grab those down in there and see how this is looking. So this is actually a bit wider than the other one, isn't it? Yeah, which I think that's probably better because this doesn't really fit in the thing. So let's get rid of that one. Oh, that's going to bug me though. That little gap right there is going to really bug me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to move this wall in a bit. But for now, let's just place these down in here and see how it looks once we get a bit of a line of them going. Whether it looks like a path, whether it looks good or not. Yeah, there we go. All right, okay, so let's see how this looks in conjunction with the farm. Yeah, not too bad. I think that's all right. So this will go like through this way and then through that way, and then we'll have our little farm areas here, and this is what they're going to look like pretty much when they're fully grown. And maybe we could add some lighting to it as well. I might look at that in a second as well. Let me get the paths down, and then I'll see what our lighting options are, and we can then maybe have a look at how this thing will look at night time as well. Okay, so as many of you will know, once an item's been placed, you have a timer of like a couple of minutes where you can still move it, and after that point, it's kind of stuck there. So I've been like hammering away at this wall here, and it's just not moving. So I just don't think it's maybe the best way to go about doing this, because I think it's going to take way too long. So I've got a few different ones to move. So instead, what I'm thinking is maybe we can do something a bit different with the paths, but I think that's going to be difficult as well. Now, if anybody knows of a better way of like destroying items, please let me know. But from what I can find online, oops, didn't mean to pick that. You know, that's basically it. That's all you have as your option. Now, it doesn't matter too much, because one of the things I think I like about this game, let me just plant this one back in here a second, is the fact that not everything is, you know, perfectly aligned and stuff. I like that it's a little bit, you know, all over the place with certain builds and things. And I think building a farm on a desert island, you know, it doesn't have to look like perfect, you know. So yeah, don't necessarily hate that, but if anyone does know a way to do it, it might be useful for me to know in the future. So please do leave a comment. But for this episode, guys, that's going to be about it. We set out today wanting to get our food sorted out, and I'd say we've done that. This wheat farm here will last us a good long while, I should imagine, and we can have pretty much as much bread as we like. Now, I may look at a better way of cooking this in future rather than just using campfires, but for now, I just wanted to make sure I had the resources in place, which I now do. So if you want to be a bit of more of a part of this community that we're building here with the whole YLands thing, I'll put a link to my club down in the description and also my Discord and that kind of thing. I'd love to have a chat with you guys on there if you are interested in that. But for now, guys, that's going to be about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.